Heat Celtics, I got an early bet for game 6, but I'm going to start out by going through a little betting preview. Where are the odds? How have things been moving? So you're going to see back in Miami, if you remember in game 4, that was the only game that Miami was favored to win. They were roughly minus 125 favorites. Now back in Miami in game 6, the Celtics are favored once again. And you can see lines have been slightly moving towards them. So what this odds jam algo odds column does is, I've said this in other videos, but as a sharp bettor, every single sportsbook is a data point on where should the line be set. So you'll see FanDuel has slightly different odds than DraftKings, different odds than Fliff. All these books, they want to be unique, so they set lines independently, but every book is a data point on where should the line be set. So what this odds jam algo odds column is just a weighted average of all the sports books with the VIG removed. So you're going to see the Celtics initially were roughly, minus 128 favorites. They went up to minus 125, and now they've moved down to around minus 132. So maybe lines drifting a bit towards the Celtics, early action coming in on the Celtics. But you can see that the best odds you can get on the Heat is plus 129 on Betfair, and the best odds you can get on the Celtics, minus 136 on Bet Openly. So as a sharp bettor, I've explained this before, but it's critical. Right? You want to have as many sportsbook accounts as possible. If you want to bet on the Celtics, you want to be placing your bet on Bet Openly at minus 136. Right? You do not want to be placing your bet on the Celtics at minus 160 on Fliff. This is a rip-off price. As a sports bettor, you're always looking for value. You're always looking for an edge. And if you're placing bets at minus 160, when there's other books offering minus 136, you're getting ripped off. Right? You're not going to stand a chance at making money sports betting. You always got to be looking for where can you get value, where can you get the best odds. So you're going to see on the spread, there's kind of disagreements in the market. Some books have the spread at 2.5, some have the spread at 3, some have the spread at 3.5. So we'll come back to the point spread in a second because I actually have a bet on the point spread. And then you can see the total is currently set at 211, and there really hasn't been any major changes in the odds. Like you're going to see not a ton of movement in the total since sportsbooks posted odds right after Game 5 ended. Game 5 ends, books begin to post odds, for the upcoming game. So now let's get into my bet. So I want to explain first, when you're betting on point spreads, right, and totals, you're typically getting minus 110 odds. So if you think about it, if you want to make money sports betting, what does minus 110 mean? What does minus 110 odds mean? And it's nothing more complicated than you're betting 11 to win back 10. So the sports books kind of have a little bit, if you think about it, of an unfair advantage. The books are saying, hey, for example, in the Wings Storm game, so if you look at a WNBA game, the books are saying you got to bet 11 on the over to win back 10. You want to bet the under, you still got to bet 11 to win back 10. So the books make money by baking in that $1 buffer, right? They make you bet 11 to win back 10 on most spreads and totals. So what that means is you have to win your point spread, your total bets, 52.38% of the time to be profitable, right? When you're betting at minus 110 odds, you have to bet 11 to win back 10. So you can't win 50% of your bets, right? If you're winning your over-unders 50% of the time, which means you have no advantage, right? Picking over-unders with no advantage is like flipping a coin. Heads versus tails, over versus under, right? If you have no advantage, you're going to win these plays 50% of the time and you're going to lose money. But if you want to make money betting on point spreads, totals long term, you have to win 52.38% of your bets on spreads and totals, right? 52.38%. So long story short, if you can win, let's say 54% of your wagers on point spreads and totals, you can win 54%, only losing 46% of your picks, you're going to be profitable betting on spreads and totals. So all minus 110 juice means on a sports book is you have to win above 52.38% of your bets to be profitable. So the way we do that is we find value in the market, right? You look for discrepancies. So one discrepancy that was very clear to me is if you take a look at the sports books, most books have the spread at 3 or 2.5. Is Fliff right here? Fliff is a new sports book. It's available in my location. It's available in basically every U.S. state. There's a ton of profitable betting opportunities on it, but they're setting the spread at 3.5. So the rest of the market is kind of consolidated around, okay, the spread should be 2.5 or 3, right? And we can get that extra point or half a point of value on Fliff and get the Heat plus 3.5, right? So that's actually the play that I ended up going with. This was a play from the OddsJam positive EV betting tool. So all this tool does is it points out line discrepancies in the market. So I just searched for the Heat game, and you can see there's an early bet positive EV play on the Heat plus 3.5. So you're going to see some books have alternate spreads, and most of them have this line, right? Their alternate spread. So if you look at, NBA games, for example, books will have a lot of times alternate spreads. So it's not like the main spread on DraftKings is plus 3 for the Heat, but you can also bet on all these alternate spreads, Heat plus 8, plus 7, plus, 3.5, whatever. But long story short, it's pretty clear that Fliff is off from the rest of the market, right? They're giving you an extra point or a half a point of value, and finding plays like this is exactly how you increase the win probability or your win rate on point spread wagers above 52.38%. I just explained earlier, when you're betting on spreads, totals, you got to win 52.38% of your picks to be profitable. So the way you do that is you look for discrepancies in the market, right? You look for spots exactly like this where a book is a full point, point and a half, or half a point off from the market, which is exactly what Fliff is right here, right? We found value. And you can browse odds completely for free on OddsJam, any sport you want to look at. So if you want to look at point spread odds, money line, totals, player props, whatever, completely free on OddsJam. You can shop around and look for value. And here is an example of a play where Fliff is, again, off from the market. So we're getting a lot of value on the Heat point spread, which is a play I like for Game 6. And this is a player prop that's increasing our win rate above 52.38%. It's a positive EV play that was also picked up on the positive EV betting tool. So I locked this in for $250, which is the max you're allowed to bet on Fliff. But long story short, really good play. Early bet for Heat Celtics Game 6 should be interesting. Let's make some money.